is News Hour, live on GTV and GBC News. My name is Clara Nan.
I am Rahmatu Mahmoud Jawadu. Don't forget we're streaming live via Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We also have Robert Frimpong-Manso to translate the news into sign language.
In the headlines, Albert Jumfor heads the fourth estate for the next 2 years.
Lady shot in the buttocks by the police seeks justice.
And 29 wedding guests abducted 2 weeks ago in northwestern Nigeria freed. So first story. Mr. Albert Jumfor is the new president of the Ghana Journalists Association. He polled 232 votes, while communications consultant Mr. Gehat Mensah scored 181 votes. Editor of the Ghanaian Times and former General Secretary of the GJA, Mr. Dave Agbenu, also had 142 votes. The vice president position was contested solely by the incumbent, Madame Linda Santiche, while Madame Audrey Dekalu also went unopposed for the treasurer position.
Mr. Kofi Abua was elected the general secretary, beating a new entrant Mr. Akwesi Ajiman of Adom FM. Mr. Dominic Lodji of GBC Radio won the national organizing secretary race, beating editor of the Daily Graphic, Madame Mary Mensah, who pulled 255. Over 800 members of the GJA cast their ballots today, June 24, 2022, to elect the new national and regional executives.
Congratulations to all the award winners. A calm explanation by the Director of Elections.
Mr. Roland Afemoni, the Hardworking Elections Committee. Dear colleagues, first of all, I want to thank the Almighty God and all members in good standing for the confidence reposed in me. Indeed, it has been very long, almost 2 years. But at long last, the battle is over. And Ghanaian journalists have made a decision. A decision to put me up front is very humbly. I will, in all humility, serve to promote their welfare, raise standards of the profession, as well as rise against anti-media elements.
Now we move to the Upper East region. Kolok Talata, the young lady who was shot in the buttocks and hand at Karimenga in the Northeast region, allegedly by the police, is seeking justice over what she describes as an attempt by the police to harm her for no reason.
Kolok Talata was said to have been shot in the buttocks by the police at Namiala Police Barrier on the 17th of May 2022, on her way home from Palugu. From JBC News investigations, the officers who shot Talata know her very well because she uses that route to work and back daily. JBC News inquiries have further revealed that there have been several attempts by the police officers at the checkpoint to date Talata, but she tells them she is married.
I know him before because sometimes I always been passing there and they call me that I should come and give my number to them. I always say me, I will not give my number to you because I have a husband. So I don't know, because of that he did, and then he shot me. He was having that mind or what me, I don't know. So they were blaming the one who shot me. That he didn't try. Every day I've been passing here morning, evening. Sometimes they always took me and come and drop, and then I'll walk and come.
Though treated and discharged, Talata says she goes for periodic medical review at the Palugu Health Center after they visited a local herbalist at DRA to remove the bullets from her body. She says she now suffers from severe headaches, pains in her waist and continuous diarrhea.
Me, I don't have anybody who helped me again. The police, after the police, they didn't come to visit me. Even I'm there or not, they don't come. So I want to tell the Ghana president that he should help me so that I will see what I'm going to do. But now, every 3 days I have to go to hospital. Every 3 days I have to go to hospital.
GBC News team has tried to reach the Upper East Regional Police PRO, ASP David Fianco Ochre, on several occasions to get their side of the story, but this has not been successful. The police PRO says they are still investigating the matter and is not ready to comment or say anything further on the matter.
95 new lawyers have been enrolled onto the legal profession of the country. The new lawyers are expected to ensure that the high professional standards are maintained. At the enrollment, the Chief Justice, Justice Sunyani Central, challenged the newly enrolled lawyers not to see the profession as a gold mine, but uphold the integrity, live by ethics of the profession, and avoid practices that bring the name of the legal profession into disrepute.
These are the newly 95 lawyers who have been enrolled into the legal profession. They went through 2 years of rigorous training at the Ghana School of Law. At the enrollment ceremony in Accra, the new lawyers were presented with certificate, which is the certificate of authority for one to hold himself or herself as a practicing lawyer and to conduct legal business as such. The Chief Justice, Justice Sunyani Central, advised the lawyers to be guided by the rules of the legal profession, which prescribed the acceptable professional conduct and etiquette for all lawyers in Ghana.
As practitioners, you should not disregard the professional charging fees by overcharging your clients, especially for services that you've not even rendered. The rules frown on touting, and so you must desist from that. You must prepare very well for every brief you are handed and pursue it assiduously in courts. You must respect client-lawyer confidentiality. Do not mislead the court in your advocacy by acting in a way that damages the reputation of the profession.
Some of the new lawyers spoke to GBC News.
Many of our colleagues gave up at some point, but it's those who persevered. So that's what this legal profession is all about. As they say, the law will humble you.
There are so many vulnerable people who are at the mercy of the law, who need lawyers to just come to their aid. And I believe and I'm hopeful that I'll be of use to a lot of them.
As being newly called to the bar, I'll just do my best to follow the rules that were taught in the law school.
It has over the years churned out lawyers who have assumed and continue to occupy important positions in all aspects of the economy.
The Nadoli-Kalio District Assembly and the Judicial Service have inaugurated the district courts as part of efforts to bring justice to the doorsteps of the people who hitherto traveled to Jata and Wa for justice delivery.
The Nadoli District Court project was completed 2 years ago, but upon inspection by the Judicial Service, additional officers were recommended to ensure that the project met the criteria of the Judicial Service. Metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies are mandated to provide the requisite infrastructure to ensure the ready access to court for the promotion of justice delivery. It is against this background that the district assembly invested in constructing the facility to ensure good justice delivery to the people. The DCE, Madam Catherine Lankono, observed that many are being maltreated but do not want to go to court because of the distance and slow nature of the justice delivery system.
Other concern of our people are faced with the slow nature of the justice delivery system and the number of adjournments a single case can go through. The numerous challenges in the quest for justice, however, contributed to the prioritization of the district assembly.
The supervising High Court judge for Wa, Justice Alhaji Yusuf Asibe, said having a court in the district is in line with the judiciary's avowed goal to bring justice to the doorsteps of the people. Justice Asibe called on the residents to resort to the alternative dispute resolution system.
The ADR system has a lot of advantages. It saves time, money, and promotes peaceful coexistence. In Ghana, our culture of maintenance is not the best. It is the hope and prayer of His Lordship, the Chief Justice, that this beautiful edifice will not suffer the fate of others in terms of maintenance.
The Upper West Regional Minister, Dr. Hafiz bin Salih, said the Judicial Service must ensure the building is maintained to justify the investment made by the Assembly. He urged the service to exhibit professionalism in their line of duty.
Following today's commissioning, I expect that the justice delivery needs of this growing district will be met promptly. It is also vital to state that the Judicial Service, on its part, must ensure that the building and its facilities are maintained to justify the investment made by the District Assembly. I want to use this opportunity to remind the magistrate and staff here that I expect the highest form of professionalism in the discharging of their duties.
In the Kadinga traditional area in the Kasana West District of the Upper East region, the chief Naba Henry Abawini Amenga Etego and his people say they are not happy that their problems do not appear to be a priority to government. They specifically mention their roads and say there must be a commitment to their infrastructure deficit.
The chief said the roads linking his house to the Kandiga market and to the Sirigu main road have not had any major rehabilitation since their construction 4 decades ago. For this reason, the youth of the area mobilized and came out in their numbers with stones and sand to level the road. They constructed a dredge using hose, shovels and wheelbarrows. The men brought in stones while the women fetched water to mix the concrete. The chief of Kandiga, Naba Amenga Etego, said they decided to do this for themselves since the district assembly has not made this a priority.
If it rains today, I'm not accessible to the Sirigu Kandiga road, which links to the Rongo Bolga road. And this assembly is not caring about that. The community, they care about the chief. That is why they have taken the initiative to make me accessible to the main road to town and to the market. That gives revenue to this assembly.
The youth also bought some bags of cement and rented the services of a tipper truck to put the road back in good condition so that traders could transport their produce to the markets. They have therefore appealed to government to intervene and reshape the road for easy movement of goods and services.
Drivers at the main taxi rank in the Sunyani Central Business District have made a passionate appeal to the Sunyani Municipal Assembly to improve conditions at their station. Speaking in an interview with GBC News at the station, the Secretary of the Taxi Drivers Association said they would stop paying tolls to the Assembly if real action was not forthcoming. The Sunyani Municipal Chief Executive, Mr. Ansukumi, admitted that the main taxi rank needs to be modernized but called on the drivers to be patient as plans are ongoing to give them a befitting taxi rank.
I'm currently in the main taxi rank in the Sunyani municipality, that's the Central Business District. But this station is presenting lots of challenges to other users, talking about the drivers and passengers alike. As you can see, there's nothing like shelter in this station. So when the sun is scorching, passengers and drivers have to just, survive in it. And then also there are no places of convenience. So when you have to relieve yourself, it becomes another challenge. And as you can see, the station is deteriorating fast. Potholes appearing almost after every rain. So we are here to find out from the drivers and the executives of the GPRTU what is being done to give Sunyani a proper befitting taxi rank.
Through assembly, no more tears or Ghana upon say demonstration. Near the planning last week and Kebaso by a pen of his in Yabotre. They say we can say, and then 3 days, the far a year, they're a host tonight or 1 day. But I don't know what either say if we know you could be jai something it's not. You chamom, you be jai the says cano. Yeah, what near their maintenance station. You open back or 15 cities. Uber station now, and upon Ura. Kano Hunina say, the two and the vote to an Amaka assembly, and no good for it to store them what because the sun is in the book. I'm no more.
So you hear the drivers, they are not happy about the conditions at the station and are threatening to hit the streets to protest or stop paying the daily tolls. So we are here at the Sunyani Municipal Assembly to get a response from the Municipal Chief Executive, find his take on this situation.
You know, the main station is already choked, and I'm sure you are aware. Just a couple of days ago, I received a letter from the taxi drivers stating their position of embarking on demonstration. But the reason they give is quite different from the one that you're talking about. As part of the medium-term plans of the Assembly, we intend to move all the market women from where they are now to the Nanapsa market. And when we are able to succeed in doing so, at least we'll have space to expand at the station to even accommodate more vehicles.
For now, the drivers will have to be patient, as according to the FCE, in the medium to long term, they hope to move the market behind the station and create space for expansion of the station to include amenities a modern station should have. For GBC News in Sunyani, John Samantha reporting.
The two leaders of Parliament and members of the Committees on Trade, Industry, Tourism and Works and Housing have encouraged support for indigenous industries in the country to build the economy. The Joint Committee made the call when they visited the production plant of Jata Cement Company in Tema.
Jata Cement is the first private sector wholly Ghanaian-owned cement factory in the country with an installed plant capacity of 2 million tons annually. The majority and minority leaders were accompanied by some members of Parliament's Joint Committees on Trade, Industries and Tourism and Works and Housing to tour the factory. They were taken round by management of the factory, built on the 10-acre land near the Tema port. The Executive Director of Jata Cement, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, who addressed the legislators, shared his success story.
The quantities that we have actually chanced on is possible to mine it for the next 10 years. So we're looking to do more drilling to be able to get a 20-year reserve such that it will be bankable to put up a $200 million investment. The cost of power today would hinder most of the projects that we want to do in Ghana, not only for the cement, even for the iron ore and other businesses in Ghana.
The legislators commended the management for operating in an eco-friendly manner.
One of the major takeaways this morning as I listened to Ibrahim, the chief executive of Jata, is that it's only in Ghana that industry pays more than ordinary consumers when it comes to electricity. It's been a matter that the Association of Ghana Industries have put on the table since my days as Minister for Trade. We would need institutional reforms in order to be able to correct it, to guarantee lower costs for them.
Here, I think we are all overawed by the cleanliness at this place. And it involves quite a lot, because I was just asking the question and I've been informed that there are giant suction plants overhead. This factory, we are told, it employs more than 400 direct workers and agents and distributors across the length and breadth of this country. Certainly, you'll be talking about numbers in excess of maybe 3,000-4,000. And so many people have to depend on this factory alone.
The members of Parliament called on Ghanaians to support the company. Rachel Quarty, GBC News, Tema.
With captivating trails, this destination has the potential to be a favorite among lovers of nature. Not many can resist the temptation for an adventurous journey to experience nature. This particular location, endowed with beautiful scenes, which also qualifies as a holiday destination, is the Paria Waterfall. Today, we are journeying to the Savannah region to the Paria waterfall on a landmark series.
Of their service. Mr. Derry made the call at a meeting with the Regional Security Council at Sefirioso, the Western North Regional Capital.
Interior Minister Mr. Ambrose Derry, who is on a 3-day working visit in the region, is expected to meet security agencies including the police, fire service, NADMO and the immigration service. Earlier, he called on the Western North Regional Minister Mr. Richard Obeng. Discussions centered on security threats facing neighboring countries and asked for public cooperation.
The Ministry of National Security's campaign, see something, say something, call 999, let us know who is where. And when the immigration officers stop you, when you are in a bus, and want to find out who is on the bus, please be patient with them.
The Western North Regional Minister, Mr. Richard Obeng, appealed to the Interior Minister to equip the security services in the region with the requisite logistics.
Honourable Minister, the most important thing that is fighting the Ghana Fire Service now is the breakdown of engines for the entire region, our major cities, the two leading economic cities that we have in BBN and Serioso. As I talked about, the fire engine has broken down there. So when there is any emergency, it will be a huge challenge.
The minister entreated the public to assist in upholding national cohesion and inclusive participation for peace and development in the country. It's been about 8 years since Ghana experienced the last destructive earthquake. Several earth tremors have been occurring, which keep reminding us that Ghana is susceptible to earthquakes. At a ceremony to round off Lignite Coast Preparedness 2022 exercise Shikbomo Wosomo, the Minister for the Interior, Mr. Ambrose Derry, encouraged the disaster emergency response agencies to extend the exercise to other regions across the country.
On Monday, Lignite Coast Preparedness 2022 exercise Shikbon Wosumo was opened for simulation exercise. The earthquake simulation exercise caused widespread destruction in Tema Metropolitan Assembly and Tema West municipal areas. Responders were deployed to affected areas to save and protect lives and contain the situation. The earthquake simulation exercise, which was to test the preparedness of the disaster emergency response agencies, was successfully achieved. The Minister for the Interior, Mr. Ambrose, commended the disaster emergency response agency and also thanked the U.S. team for their support. He also advised that the program be extended to other regions.
I further encourage you to conduct similar exercises in other regions to build the capacity of other respondents, to boost the confidence in any life-threatening circumstance.
The U.S. Embassy and the North Dakota National Guard team from the U.S. were impressed with the level of professionalism and enthusiasm displayed by the response agency.
Every agency planned and participated in this exercise. We also wanted to conduct this tactical exercise to allow agencies to conduct a gap analysis to identify what's missing and what could help them through resources or personnel for future disasters.
After witnessing what the Republic of Ghana, whole of government, has accomplished after the last 4 days, it is my assessment that Ghana has an incredible disaster response team.
Mr. Eric Nana Ajman Prempe is the Director General of the National Disaster Management Organization.
Response agencies really work very hard to achieve this high level of success. This does not suggest no gaps were identified. Participating agencies will meet to discuss the entire exercise and take steps to address all identified gaps.
The entire Disaster Emergency Response Agency and its supportive agencies were honored. The program was funded by the U.S. Embassy in Ghana.
Over the past decades, the private sector has assumed a larger role in research and development for food and agriculture. For 2 days, interest groups from 8 African and 14 European countries reviewed strategies to upscale private sector participation and the use of technology and innovation in ensuring food security.
In the past decades, scientific research has undeniably moved into the private sector to the extent that nowadays the majority of scientific research is both conducted and funded by the private industry. To ensure effective private sector participation in research work, the Science and Technology Policy Research Institute collaborated with the Long-Term Europe-Africa Research and Innovation Partnership for Food and Nutrition, Security and Sustainable Agriculture, hosted a 2-day workshop to boost private sector participation in research. The workshop provided knowledge-based information and contribution to the formulation and implementation of policies for socio-economic development based on science, technology and innovation. Long-term Euro-Africa Partnership for Food and Nutrition, Security and Sustainable Agriculture for NSSA Work Package 2 co-leader CSIR Stepri Ghana, Dr. Rose Omari, said a shift towards private sector-driven research is timely.
The use of the research is also limited due to various reasons. In this workshop, we want to find better strategies of interacting with the private sector, getting them involved in our research, either in terms of funding or even using our research outputs or even contributing to our research in various ways.
The Director for Research and Innovation for Foreign Agriculture Research in Africa is Dr. Irene Anofrempon.
This International Research Consortium is new. It's going to be launched in September, and it's all about bringing all research and innovation actors in Africa and Europe to come together to be part of this engagement that will move research and innovation forward, and that will make research the basis, or science the basis of agricultural development in Africa.
The final report of the workshop will be presented to the AU-EU Senior Officials Meeting on 13th July 2022 in Brussels.
You're watching news. I will be back shortly with business. Don't go away.
Time now for the business segment brought to you by MTN. An insurance expert, Mr. Emmanuel Baba Mahama, is urging insurance companies to invest in research and come out with policies that will meet the needs of customers. Speaking at an insurance fair in Accra, Mr. Baba added that demand-driven policies have the potential to increase patronage of insurance products.
The insurance fair forms part of activities marking this year's Insurance Month. Although the country has one of the highest insurance coverages in Africa, the percentage is still insignificant to ensure economic development. Experts say the insurance penetration rate had to be beyond 4.4% for it to have a spillover effect on the economy significantly. Current insurance penetration in the country is below 2%, with a coverage rate of about 40%. Also reorienting the public to understand and appreciate insurance as an everyday life will call for cultural change where the minds and beliefs of the people would be tuned towards the policy. Speaking on the topic, making insurance the Ghanaian way of life, a former president of the Ghana Insurance Association, Mr. Baba Mahama, refuted the notion that insurance was sold and not bought. He advised insurers to leverage technology and digitalization to make their services more accessible and simplify their language.
If we don't change our mind regarding this statement and begin to see insurance as something that people would like to buy, we will not make any inroads at all. Insurance, when well understood, well presented, in a manner that makes sense to people who benefit from it, they will buy insurance. Because the purpose of a business is to create a customer. The business enterprise has two and only two basic functions: marketing and innovation.
A recent research by the National Insurance Commission indicates that a sizable number of Ghana's population, representing 46.2%, with the view that insurance companies in the country care more about premiums than paying claims. Per the report, most Ghanaians review their insurance providers with doubt, hence the Insurance Awareness Month. A former commissioner of insurance, Madam Lydia Laribabawa, stressed the need for growth in the insurance industry.
The confidence and trust of the insuring and in fact the Ghanaian public, we need to get them to come along with us. We must make insurance, as the theme for this lecture suggests, the Ghanaian way of life.
The three-day fair afforded insurance companies and brokerage firms to showcase their products and services to the public. This year's theme is deepening insurance awareness to engender and enhance public confidence in Ghana.
The president of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, Reverend Professor Charles Enum Adams, has called on government to collaborate with certified engineers to address Ghana's road infrastructure problem. He also advised that eco-friendly materials should be used for constructing roads and bridges. Professor Adams said this when he delivered the 51st presidential address mandated by every president of the Institution of Engineering during his tenure in Accra.
Engineers design roads and they are constructed. These roads have a certain maintenance regime that ought to be done. First, routine, which is done annually, and then periodic, that depending on the surface, you may do maybe every 5 years or every 10 years. It seems we don't do them timeously. You will notice that if we're going to spend $1, then we're now going to spend 10 times that money to reconstruct the roads. Certified contractors who employ the right professional staff, including engineers, consulting engineers who have also registered professionals should be employed. Now the work should be given to people devoid of politics. We must also look at, for example, bio-asphalt or other means of modifying the bitumen with rubber. Now when you do that, it will stick better, and therefore the aggregate or the chippings will stay on the road surface.
It's the business segment. Next is the interbanks and commodity markets.
To our first story, the Tema oil refinery tour is expected to restart operations in the month ahead to help boost the domestic supply of refined oil products in the wake of the ongoing global oil market crisis. Management of TOR says the Ministry of Energy has permitted the oil company to negotiate a lease agreement to refine crude oil with a private investor, Decimal Capital.
A statement from management of the firm said the proposal by Decimal Capital has met the needs of the refinery. TOR management says once this is completed, Decimal Company is expected to provide funding for the first phase of operations for TOR to be able to refine about 45,000 barrels a day. Energy analyst Kojopoku lauded government for approving Decimal Company as transaction advisor.
It's a consortium. It's not just one company. It's a transaction that I don't think only one company can do. It's a consortium of investors. I think there are Vitol in there. Vitol is a world trading company that trades in upstream for both diesel, petrol, and crude oil. And I think there is also a consortium in there that is financing. So it's a combination of financing and traders. And because of the work that needs to be done, you need money to retrofit some of the machines. And you also need somebody who can supply the crude. You know, Ghana is the only country where most people think that you can just go into the open market and get crude. It's not possible. It's very, very difficult to get crude.
Meanwhile, TOR says it will provide a third of the country's monthly diesel and other fuel needs, which will lead to an improvement in fuel security, which will have an effect on the stabilization of the Ghana cedi. According to Mr. Puku, the move will temporarily stabilize the cedi.
The currency depreciation is due to a multiple factors. One of the factors of the depreciation is local companies looking for money to import products. Now, if a lot of those products are found on the market, the byproduct of refinery is also LPG. Because all doesn't work, there's a lot of LPG that is imported. So imagine if all is working, we're going to get local diesel and we're going to get LPG. So the money that would have otherwise been sought after, which is the dollar that would have been sought after to import LPG, will not be needed.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Energy has in strong terms refuted assertions made recently by the Institute of Energy Security (IES) that the Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Poku-Prempeh, had failed to provide the necessary leadership in finding a strategic partner for the Tema oil refinery. The assertions by the IES were contained in a petition to the President on the
Government's inability to strategize in dealing with the hiccups in the petroleum industry over the years has become the bane of the current situation in the country. Speaking to GBC News, energy analyst Dr. Yusuf Suleimana outlined some measures governments can adopt to help salvage the continuous price hikes in the petroleum products and over-reliant on the international market.
Let's minimize the pressure on the dollar. And the only way we can minimize pressure on the dollar is to minimize the amount that we take out. The pressure on the dollar is what we take out to import finished product. And if you cannot minimize, and the credible conduit to minimizing that is to source some of these products locally. And that's why day in and day out we have been calling over the years, even before this crisis, that let's have a look at refinery. Our downstream is growing and growing phenomenally. Other than that, we'll be taken by surprise, and that's what is happening now. So having a local refinery is a serious coolant on the current crisis, a serious pressure relief on the current crisis. The second possible opportunity is to have a massive storage capability, because these are the local capabilities that we have, and unfortunately we have lost. We only need to retool these infrastructures and make them vibrant.
This ends the energy segment on News Hour. My name is Mabel Anna. Health News is up next. Do stay tuned.
Welcome to the health segment brought to you by kind courtesy Lufat. Following the monkeypox case recorded at the Techiman municipality, the North-East Regional Health Directorate is intensifying its education and sensitizing on the disease in all the region's 11 districts. Measures instituted so far by the Ghana Health Service include the issuance of an alert to all the health facilities on the disease, ongoing sensitization of clinicians and other health staff, as well as contact tracing and follow-up on the confirmed case in Techiman.
According to Bono East Regional Director of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Fred Adamako Boateng, the Regional Health Directorate is capable of bringing the outbreak in the region under control, but needed the maximum support of residents.
When you suspect monkeypox, what do you do in a facility? We have also, what sample do you take? We have also done that. And what do we do as a region? All these have been communicated. In fact, we started this discussion about 2-3 weeks ago, before we even had one last week. So in terms of the preparation, that's what we have done. In terms of case fatality rates, moving from one to another, contagiousness, there is nothing to compare to COVID-19.
Dr. Adumako pleaded with the residents in the region to ensure early reporting to health facilities, effective diagnosis and treatment, and to strictly adhere to all the existing COVID-19 protocols of hand hygiene, indoor wearing of nose masks, and social distancing rules to curb the disease's spread.
All these permutations for monkeypox, I think we shouldn't be that worried. We should go about the way and manner we are carrying our businesses. But the most important thing is the hand hygiene that we have been emphasizing. Continuously washing your hands with good water, running water and soap. Continuously applying alcohol.
Symptoms of monkeypox include headaches, muscle and back aches, general bodily weakness, rash with blisters on the face, hands, feet, body, eyes, mouth or genitals.
The Ghana Health Service in the Upper East region is on a crusade to reduce extensively the spate of maternal mortalities due to unsafe abortions across the country. This campaign falls in line with achieving Goal 3 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
Maternal mortality ratio, currently MMR, stands at 308 deaths per 100,000 live births, which is way below the SDG target of less than 70 deaths per 100,000 live births by 2030. For this reason, the Zero Tolerance for Maternal Deaths Due to Unsafe Abortion campaign mainly targets decreasing unintended pregnancies among women and girls through the provision of safe abortion and family planning FP services. This is with a view to reduce maternal deaths in the country, especially at the rural settings. Dr. Emmanuel Dochi is the Upper East Regional Director of Health.
The laws in Ghana permit abortion under certain circumstances. Access to these services is still a challenge, because safe abortion contributes significantly to maternal mortality. Taken together, these factors demonstrate the need for extensive and strategic policy and program efforts towards reducing the country's unacceptable high maternal morbidity and mortality.
Launching the campaign, Dr. Emmanuel Duchi announced that complications from unsafe abortions accounted for 3% of direct maternal mortalities in the Upper East region. He blamed the increasing rate of unsafe abortions leading to death on poverty, rape, contraceptive failure and ignorance, and called on the media to support the campaign.
In Upper East region, complications of unsafe abortion accounted for 3% of direct maternal mortality and about 25 cases of post-abortion complications that include bleeding, perforations, sepsis, and many others.
Many health facilities across all levels have been authorized to provide safe abortion care to reduce the country's MMR and promote the family system while contributing to socio-economic growth.
That's all in this segment brought to you by courtesy Lufat.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria?